course, new rig testing of the hf8 working finally. You can only really get it working through SimHub. I tried for ages, but turned out in the end I didn't actually have the game profile selected, so that was a bit of a mistake. But I tried the hf8 software, that wouldn't work. I tried also the hf8 sim shaker software, that wouldn't work either. Neither would seem to connect to the game. Even with SimHub, I've got it connected to Flight Simulator 2020, even though I'm using 2024. But it is working, and I've set up the effects, and they're quite nice. I like them, they're alright. I didn't like it to start with, but I've sort of got used to it. So I'm going to just do a little test flight now between, obviously, the usual place. Look, here we are at Carlisle Airport. And we'll just take off and see how this shaker feels. You can see that I've got the joystick in the centre now, rather than at the side where I prefer it. I wanted to give this a try because obviously that's the real position of the joystick in the chopper itself. I have actually decided I don't really like it, to be honest. It makes it a real pain in the neck to get in and out of the cockpit, and it's just not as comfortable as having it down on your right hand side where your arm naturally falls. So I know it's more realistic to have it in the centre, and I'll use it for this flight, but honestly and truthfully I'm probably going to go back to that right hand side. Alright, let's have a little fly through here, just above the hospital here in Carlisle. You can see Dixon's chimney elegantly gracing the skyline there. There's the sewage farm, and we'll just head over the woods here down to the river. This is a good test for the hf8 because there'll be a lot of forces left and right. I configured this really for forces, a small amount for the engine RPM, otherwise it's just going all the time really, and then high values for the lateral forces, then you feel the left and right as you go, and also the forward and backward force. I don't know whether you call that lateral, longitudinal force, I suppose, as you accelerate and decelerate. I've been running down the river here and just feeling it, so you can feel it side to side as you. Terrible flying there. Sorry. Try and stay on the river. You can feel it side to side as you make the turns around the river and as you accelerate across the ground. It's quite nice. It does take a little bit of setting up. There's the call to you coming off the Eden there at Sheepmount. Head onwards down the river. Just trying to get a feel for this thing. It is quite nice. There's a couple of little bugbears with it over the top here. It is a bit of a pain to fix onto the seat, and can be parked there on the left. The software is a pain to configure. It took me a real long time to work that out. The audio output, I don't think I'm going to be using it. I've got it outputting then to my two little Dayton Audio pucks, which I've got in the base of the yaw. That's not really, I don't really think that's doing anything at all. I tried turning the volume up and down on the amplifier there, and it didn't really seem to make a lot of difference to what was going on. So I think I might try shortly just USBing them straight into the hub, which I've now got. USBing the little knob sound amplifier straight in there, because I noticed it's got a USB connection. So it might present itself as a sound card through the virtual ear client, and then we could actually have another channel which I can set up in SimHub, or I could just maybe even just set up in Windows Control Panel and just duplicate the sound from the Quest headphones and put that into the bottom of the seat as well, which would be a nice thing to do, something I've been trying to achieve for a while. I've tried to do this of course before by taking the sound out of the headphones themselves, but of course what happens there then is you just lose your headphones because the Quest registers a resistance across the jack and it turns off the internal speakers. I guess I could tee it out to a set of headphones and then down to the pucks at the bottom, but I don't think that's really what I want to be doing. That's going to be adding a lot of wiring to it. I've already got the wiring coming out of the Quest. I just got that on the left hand side there, you can see you don't need it, it's just the charging cable. Everything's working wirelessly, of course, but it's nice to be able to keep the Crest 3 charged up as you're flying around, otherwise it loses power after about an hour or so. And that's not great if you're flying around and you suddenly can't see anything. Okay, that's about it really. I don't know what else to tell you. I've managed to get down the river here before and smashed into a tree, which was quite entertaining. It's a nice little route down here, quite a nice thing to do in choppers once you've got a decent handle of the aircraft itself. Here I am really just coming out of Carlisle and just coming up to the motorway bridge here. See M6 goes over the top of the Eden. It's really great in Flight Sim 2024 now. The graphics are just unbelievable. I'm not going to attempt to go under the bridge, it just looks too low. I'm just going to end up spinning around. And there we go. That's a little test of this hf8 for you and the centrally mounted joystick. I like the hf8, that's good. I'm not so sure about the centrally mounted joystick. That was always going to happen at 100 mile an hour, wasn't it? Where are we? Brampton? I don't think so actually. I'm sure it looks big enough. Crossby on Eden maybe? Yeah, I think so. put it down, final test. I've added a little effect for the touchdown, so if I just slam this down really hard, you should get a nice buzz from the seat. Yeah, works great.